A stunning rebuke by an Arizona prosecutor now refusing to extradite a murder suspect back to New York. Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell announced on Wednesday her staff will not be sending 26-year-old Raad Almansoori back to Manhattan, where he's wanted for the killing of 38-year-old Denise Olias Arancibia inside a Soho hotel room earlier this month. Mitchell says she's not agreeing to extradite because of progressive Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's track record with violent criminals, saying, I think it's safer to keep him here. And because he committed 2 crimes in Arizona. But can the Maricopa County Attorney actually do this legally? Here's what she said when I asked her Wednesday night.
He brutally stabbed 2 women, said that his intent was to kill them, said his intent was to rape them. And these are mandatory prison sentences in Arizona. 1 count alone carries a sentence of 7 to 21 years in prison. And so it's not that we're refusing to extradite. It's simply that we're going to go first. I have him here without bond, meaning he cannot bond out. He cannot post any amount of money to get out of jail. And I believe that that is the best place for him right now.
Almansoori is accused of stabbing a woman during a carjacking in Phoenix and another woman in a bathroom in a restaurant in Surprise, Arizona. Back with me, Misty Marris, trial attorney Jesse Weber, anchor for Law and Crime Network, Brian Buckmire, also an attorney and host at Law and Crime. Jesse, what do you make of this one? Does she have the power, the authority to say, no, I'm not going to extradite?
Beyond the question of whether she should, I looked into this law. She actually can. So under the law in Arizona, the governor, who seems to have the authority of this, can actually, if that person is charged in their state, can either hand them over to another state or can wait for the conclusion of that case in Arizona and then hand them over. So the law actually might be on her side. I had to look at it because I've never seen a case like this before, where someone's denying extradition.
Because typically the way it works, Brian, is whoever has the more serious crime goes first, right?
Yeah, so I was a former public defender here at Legal Aid Society in Brooklyn. Usually if Arizona has a petit larceny and we have a homicide here, you just send them over here. But this is not really a story in my mind, because if the person is remanded in Arizona, even if you do send them to New York, they would be held. They can't be released out. New York would say, no, Arizona has a bond on you where you can't get released. So what's going to naturally happen is you kind of, quote unquote, get your pound of flesh in Arizona, you get the conviction there, then you send them to New York, and then New York and Arizona decides, well, where are we going to house this person, in Arizona or New York? But this person's not getting out because Arizona said they're remanded. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So bottom line is what you're saying is just by Arizona declaring no bond on our charges, if he was sent back to New York, he would have to remain in New York no matter what happened with the Manhattan DA's office?
It's considered a hold. It's a part of what's called the full faith and credit clause of the Constitution, where New York would say, hey, I can't release you because Arizona, it often happens with the feds. I have clients now who are being incarcerated on federal crimes where they go to New York and they can't get out of New York.
So you think this was wrong for her to do?
It's not that it's wrong, it's just political. Like it's just a way for her to say, I'm doing more than the other political liberal prosecutor. This is just business as usual. I don't know why it's a story.
Well, it's a story because this almost never happens, right? Where you have 2 serious crimes and one state refuses to extradite to the state where they're looking for the person and the person fled, right? I mean, have you ever seen a case where they refuse, where one state refuses to extradite to another state for a murder suspect?
It's not about that she's refusing to do it now.
Correct, right. I'm saying, have you ever seen a case where someone refuses, one state refuses to extradite now because for a murder suspect?
You're making it specifically to a murder?
Yes.
No, yes. Both the states and the feds.
I don't know.
The feds will say, I have a Hobbs Act robbery here. I'm keeping him here first, and then I'll send him over. It happens all the time.
I will tell you, I mean, it's a good thing that he's charged with attempted murder in Arizona, because if it was a case of, like, I don't know, carjacking, then we'd be in a very different scenario. So she's like, these are crimes that he's going to get mandatory prison.
Well, you know, the thing is, the reason that she's saying in the media the prosecutorial practices of another state is not the legal reason to keep them in Arizona. Jesse's talking about the statutes and all of that, which serve as the basis. That's just the front-facing narrative for the media, but there is a legal basis. It's just not that.
and if I may, I mean, I just interviewed a woman who says that she was attacked by Almansoori in Florida, and she couldn't be more adamant that she tried to get him locked up. The charges were dropped. She said he's going to do this again, and he ends up going to New York and Arizona, allegedly. So when I spoke to her, she was furious, and that sentiment you can feel with the Arizona prosecutor, that they don't want him out any which way.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.